Good afternoon, everybody. It is day 4 of our creating challenges. And we are here with creative partner Lisa. Lisa, how do you say your last name for the people?
It's McGushion.
McGushion, Lisa McGushion, creative partner. Okay, so today is all about creating a birthday card. So this is kind of exciting because you have a sneak peek right now of what Lisa created. As a reminder, we're doing 12 days of creating challenges leading up to Kiwi Lane's 12th birthday. So today's day 4. Up in the description of this event, you will see where we have the links. So if you want to participate in the creative challenges, we also have more information about how you can order this lovely, let me see if I can show you guys, creators t-shirt, Kiwi Lane. We have these for t-shirt pre-sale right now in raspberry and teal. So if you're looking to order one in honor of the 12th birthday, head on over to the website that's in the description. And for now, we're going to create along with Lisa. Let me see. Lisa, do you see any comments?
I see that Shannon is there from Nevada.
Shannon. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Okay. Well, Lisa, I am going to let you go ahead and take it from here.
All right. All right. Here's the card we're going to create today. I used the Farmstead truck to create my card. It reminded me of my grandfather's truck. He had a green truck pretty much like this. So I kind of made it an old jalopy. And so we're going to work on creating one of these together. So let me move this up to the top so you can still see it. I started with a card base. So we're making a slimline card to fit the truck. So I have a piece of paper that is 8.5 by 7. And I've scored it at 3.5 inches. And we're going to fold that in half. And I did put a sentiment inside, so we're going to stamp that first. So I have it all set up here on my stamp platform to do that. Let me ink that one up. So I set it up so that it would stamp in about the middle of the card. I do the inside first, because if it messes up, I can do it again, just like now. It didn't stamp very well. So we'll re-ink it, stamp again. Oops, one more time, and I think we have it. All right. I think we'll leave that. I'll trace. Sometimes when they don't come quite out good enough, I'll take a black pen later and darken up those words. So that's what I'm going to do later. And now I will move this off to the side. Now we're going to work on the front. So to create the background, to create the background, we're going to use the Celebrate templates. So I have the Celebrate 5, I have the regular one and the tiny, and I'm going to use a little bit of Salty Ocean ink. So I'm going to use this to make my clouds in the sky. I just put my template here on the paper and I use my dauber and go off the edge. And I repeat till I fill in the background. Just kind of random through there. So now I've taken my plain piece of paper and I have a background to put my truck on. And the truck's going to cover some of the bottom, so I'm just going to stop right there. And then we're going to attach it to the front of our card. So I will line it up here at the top. And now I have my background. Now I don't do it on the card itself to start with, because if I mess it up, I can turn it over and try it on the back side. And if I really don't like both, I can get a new piece of paper out and I haven't messed up the card base. And then to do the road, I have a 1-inch piece of paper. And I'm simply going to draw the lines down the center of the road with a white gel pen. And we are going to go ahead and put this on the card. And then I have the happy birthday stamped on the road, which is where I will place my truck over it. So I'm going to get my stamp platform back out. And I'm going to put it at the front, the top of it again. And I already have my happy birthday stamp set up there. So I can stamp it right where I want it to be. I like using some small sentiments to put my words on. All right, I think one more quick stamp on there and we will be ready to go. All right, the card base is now ready. It took us what, maybe 3 minutes to create the background and we're ready to go. Now, to create the truck, I simply trace the truck. I did not want to use the background or the rails. So when I traced my truck, and I didn't do the wheels, so I'm just tracing around the fenders and the top, window in between. Oops, I'm not doing the tires. You could trace the tires and layer them. I decided I was going to make a different set of tires for my truck. So now you can see I have it drawn, and I'll just fill in the lines here when I cut it out. Now, we all know how to cut. Oh, I need to trace the fenders though first. So I'm going to go back here and just trace the fenders because I want to pop them up. I like a lot of dimension. So I'm tracing that out there. And now I've got it all traced. It's kind of boring to sit and watch me cut. So with the magic of television, I pre-cut the pieces for the truck. I left the window in for right now, but I want to be able to see the sky through my window. So I'm going to take my scissors. I could use an X-Acto knife, but I don't need to do on this one. I'm just going to make a little slit right here in the window frame. Cut the inside out. And then when I glue it on the card, it kind of looks like a seam in the car. So it blends right in. I don't have to worry about that. So now I have an open window. And then it's going to be a rusty old jalopy. So I really inked up all the edges of it. I don't think my grandfather's truck was quite this beat up, but I'm just pretending by now it would have been this beat up. Go around the car. And I even did inside the window. All right. So now that portion is inked. And I used some little foam squares, pop dots, to put the fenders on. Because flat cards are a little bit on the boring side. So I'm just placing them over where they would have gone on the card. And then put another one on there. And Nikki, you're not really late, because if you missed the first part, you'll be able to catch it on the replay. That's the nice thing about video classes. All right, so now I have my truck made. To create the wheels, I could have traced them, but I decided that I would use punches. So I used a 1.5 inch punch for my wheels. I used an inch punch for my white walls and a 1/2 inch punch for my hubcaps. And then these, I'm going to put the white in the center of the black, just with foam or with adhesive. But the center hubcaps, I'm going to use a small pop dot on those. I just find circles, sometimes it's just as easy to cut them out with a punch versus hand cutting them. All right. And that is all of the pop dots I'm going to need. We'll attach the wheels in just a minute when we put it on the card itself, but we need to add a couple little details to really make this car look finished. We're going to add some silver to the front headlight, the brake light, and we're going to create the door handle. Now, when I'm cutting out little pieces, I use a Post-it note and I use it upside down. So here's my sticky part, and I'm going to trace the front of the headlight. And then I'm just going to hand draw the back of it. I'm going to trace the tail light. And again, I'm just going to draw the back of it. And then the door handle, it's just an oval. So I'm just going to kind of freehand an oval on there. And these I will cut out. And then I will, so that I don't lose them, I stick them on the sticky part of the Post-it note. So now I know where my headlight is. I know where, we'll know where the tail light is, and I won't accidentally throw them out with my scraps. So now I'm going to cut out the, so now I've got the little pieces, and I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue, fine line glue bottle, and I'm going to put a little glue on the back and stick them on the car. So now I have a headlight. I have a tail light, brake light, if I can get it on there. There we go. And the door handle. To add the lines for the detail for the car, for this one, I just used a Sharpie marker. And I just freehanded a line, kind of using the truck as the guide. So right about here, I drew a line down. I do one over here. And then I drew a line across the bottom. Now I have the truck, doors, and the running board. So now we are finished with the truck. And we're going to set him aside for a minute. The trees. So for the trees, I used the Seasons tree. When I traced it on my paper to save paper, I traced one this way. Then I turned the tree upside down and traced the other one. And then I cut them out and we'll add some ink to them because we need to put those on before we put the truck on because it will make it much easier. And one of the trees, we're actually going to cut the bottom of it off. So I'm not going to worry about cutting or inking the tree trunk because I'm going to totally cut the bottom layer off. So I'm going to cut it right about here. And this one I'll cut off in just a minute at the top. So this tree that I cut off, just going to use my tape runner on it. I'm going to tuck it underneath the road. Except I glued it too much. There we go. I'm going to tuck it underneath the road. And now we have a shorter tree. Then I'm going to take the second tree and I'm going to tuck it in there with some tape runner. And it's actually going to go behind the other one. And yes, my tree sticks off the card. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to turn it over and top the tree. So now we have our trees added to our card. The next thing we have to cut out and create, we're going to take and we're going to trace. So I used the gift for the package. So I traced it on some nice bright striped paper because this card will be perfect to give to a guy. And then I traced the bow on the top. And then I cut them out. And we're going to ink them. And we'll attach the bottom of the gift behind the package, the bow. And now we'll put that in the truck when we attach it. So now I'm going to pull my truck back over here. And I'm going to take one wheel and put adhesive on it. I'm going to position the truck where I want it so I make sure the words show. And then I can slide a wheel underneath and get it placed just so. And now I'll do the same thing with the second one. And then place it underneath there. And now I'm going to attach the truck, but I'm not going to put adhesive behind the truck bed because we do still have to put the gift in there. Put a little bit down here on the far end. Center that over my wheels. And now we'll put some glue on the back of the gift and slide it right back into the back of the truck. And now our package is ready to be driven off to our sender. But I think I'm going to still go ahead and add a little bit of glue behind the window frame so that it does stay attached. There you go, a nice, quick and easy card. for a guy, for a kid. And I already have plans to make several more similar cards with different themes. Kind of like the slimline card size for the truck. I can see a Christmas one. I can see all kinds of different fun ones. So that's my next project. So now there we have the cards. Are there any questions? So now I know that if you create a birthday card, if you'll go to the post and share your birthday cards that you have created, you have a chance to win some prizes. So I noticed there are a few up there already, so you'll add it to the post. So that's all I have. I'll hang on here for a minute, see if anyone has any questions. But we are done. For the clouds, I used Salty Ocean, so any blue would work. And everything else, I just used Vintage Photo. So Wendy, that's what I used. Salty Ocean and Vintage Photo. And the truck you can get in the shop. It's called the Farmstead truck or Farmstead, and they will fit in a regular business envelope. All right, thanks for joining me, everybody. You can catch the replay on the Kiwi Lane Designs page later once they get that posted up. So have a great day.